Yes, what's going on, people? Just wrapped up a YouTube video with the main man, Gene. He's got, look at that man, so professional.
Hi guys, today I'm here having a sit-down conversation with a natural heavyweight bodybuilder.
Are you right, guys? I'm Theo Golaub, natural bodybuilder. I've been competing since 2014. I've done relatively well over the years. Won some overalls in the regionals, placed third in the British finals in the BNBF and UK DFBA. Placed fourth in the UK. Oh, I'm lying! I lied already. Yeah, in the BNBF, placed third in the British finals. Oh gosh, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. Yeah, and then again last year in 2019. It's been a crazy journey, man. But love it, and definitely coming back for next year in 2021. 2021. Seems like this year.
This year's just flown by.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Seriously, but you know, even though with all the restrictions that's been happening and lockdowns and stuff, still been training hard, and yeah, progress has been made. Good, for sure.
If you guys haven't seen it, you'll see the progress we're making in our chest and arm session that we did before this. So if you haven't seen it, go back and check that out. Right, happy to have you on.
Happy to be here.
I'd like to start with where you started your training, why you started your training, how. So obviously you've already said you first comp 2014?
Yeah.
Right, but you told me earlier, you've been training for roughly 17 years.
Yeah.
So go on, start us off.
A lot of people think I'm younger than what I actually am. I'm not going to say my age.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2003, 2004, used to go to a junior weights club. That's where I learned all my foundations, really. But it was always full body workouts, just twice a week. Yeah, I started off, you know, on baby weights, and then, you know, I got pretty strong, pretty quick, relatively quick. One of the main reasons was because there's a lot of friends there, a lot of people from the school, and it's quite competitive, you know. So one person would do something one week, and then you know, try and beat that. And also, I was, you know, from the start, I enjoyed it, and I always wanted to progress. So yeah, I you know, got into it, and it was great.
So you've told me also when we were talking, when we were training, that you mainly got into it for strength, for the strength aspect. So I would say mentally, because as you said, you progressed pretty quickly. You realised you were amongst the best or the best lifter for your age group, and in your friends group. What made you transition to think, I want to go from performing well in the gym to looking good as well, to then transmit that on stage?
Do you know what? That's actually a tough question, because I don't remember specifically when that happened. I just remember I was always like a tall, skinny kid, and you know, it was just mainly about getting stronger. And then I was never really into bodybuilding. My friends used to get a few of the magazines and they think, look at all the veins and that, you know, oh my god, it's disgusting, why do you want to be like that? And then it just over years, like, alright, I'm gonna try and get a bit more size, and then there was just like a few comments, in particular, I remember, like, oh, you're not gonna get much bigger than that, you know, basically I was at my genetic potential, apparently. Just because I was a skinny kid, and at the time I must have been about maybe 12 stone.
Okay.
So yeah, so that when I started I was probably about 10 stone, and at this point about 12 stone. So that kind of stuck with me, and you know, so that, you know what, keep on going to see what happens. I used to eat loads, or used to think that I eat loads, but never used to track anything. But yeah, just used to do what I could to put on the weight, and it was just like, I never really had any shoulders. I used to have some traps, but never any shoulders. And I remember saying to my friend, because it's weird, like, we used to train at the gym, but then at one point we was training in his bedroom. He used to have a bench and what's on. I can't remember why we even went, to his bedroom to train at this point. But yeah, I remember saying to him in the bedroom, like, do you know what, one day I'm gonna have shoulders. I'm gonna have shoulders, you know. And it was just a challenge, and just to keep developing from there. But in all honesty, the whole actually developing my physique didn't really come till I got into bodybuilding. It wasn't until somebody actually said to me in 2012 that I should get into natural bodybuilding. Because like I told you before, I had no clue about it. I used to think to bodybuild you have to be on juice, and that was it. That was the only route that you could take. So luckily enough for me, the BNBF British Finals was in Manchester. It was just down the road from myself. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna go and watch the show. Me and my missus went, enjoyed it, obviously. I saw Nate Williams, he was a junior, and he took his pro card that year. He had a full team with him, and he looked really well. Even though I didn't know much about like natural body, I just knew that this guy, he was really good.
It's eye catching, and you just know.
That's it. So yeah, but from there, I thought, you know, this is something that I can do. And then I just started to look into it more and more, and just from there, just it's all about developing my physique. And there's been lots of different styles of training. Oh, well, I say it's more been adapting, you know. So I used to start with full body, and then my friend said, all the bodybuilders do like split body, you know, like bro splits and whatnot. And the first thing I said to him, I said, if I do that, I won't even feel like I've trained. Little did I know. Exactly. But you know, I kind of carried that on. Obviously, tweaked the reps and sets over the years, and where I am now, I still do a kind of bro split. It's do you know what? To be honest, it's more of a hybrid type of training. So, you know, because the thing is, like a bro split or even push-pull legs, it's so vague, you know. Two people could do push-pull legs, but it'd be totally different. Just in terms of the type of exercise and selection and the sets, reps, all of that. You
intensity,
know what I mean?
Right, all of
so
that.
It's such a broad term, but it's like, oh, you do push-pull legs and like pull leg versus bro split type of thing. But it's, for me, I just kind of combine the two as and when, because sometimes I feel like, all right, I might need to add a bit of side out to the chest session. And so I do something like that. And you know, so it's more technically a push session. You could have done more than just with chest. You know what I mean? But yeah, so it does change a little bit depending on my needs and how my body's feeling. And also the frequency of training, because as we mentioned whilst we were training, I used to go 7 days a week. 7 days a week. Bro split 7 days a week. And that's getting burnt out, and then I tapered it back, and then I've tried doing legs twice. That didn't last for long. It was just too much, because I don't believe in just doing easy sessions.
No way.
So I can't do like a heavy session and then just a light session. Like it won't work.
Just rest.
Yeah,
you know
this is what I mean. Because even earlier this year, I tried reps in reserve. I thought, right, train more often, but back off the intensity. And again, it's not for me. Now I just train like 4, possibly 5 times if it's like an extra arm session or something. And that's it. But now it's all about resting. And I've got used to that. I've accepted that. In the past, I just wanted to get in the gym. You know what I mean? It's like just always being there. More is better. That kind of mentality.
I still struggle with the whole, because I only train 3 days a week. I'll throw in a 4th if again I want to do arms. Because that's a struggling area for me. But typically I'm 3 days a week as well. And it is about coming to terms with the fact that yes, I may feel like I can train. But it will benefit me more to allow my body to recuperate so that I can then push forward. And for me personally, I see it in my performance more than feel it. Like, I'll turn up a day and be tired, but then I'll PB, and I'm like, oh, I could have felt fresh after doing that same body part twice that week, and then not got anywhere near that. So it's more about listening and see what your body's output is like, and then going for that. With your strength training background and stuff, don't want to get too nerdy, this is not really what this channel's about, you know what I mean? But with your strength training background, do you feel like that set you up for bodybuilding in a positive way, or do you feel like it was just something that happened that just led you on to then building your physique?
Yeah, it was just basically, even though it's strength training, it was still, I still wanted to get reps in, but I just wanted to, it was heavyweight, lots of reps.
Right.
But the form wasn't as tidy as it is nowadays, you know. But I used to have, not like a huge ego as in like out there, oh, I'm king of the gym, but deep within myself, like, I want to outlift you, you like, alright, you're bigger, but I'm going to outlift you, type of mentality. And yeah, it done me, you know, some positives came from it, for sure. And it did help develop my physique, even if I didn't even realise at the time that I could never see my back. I never used to take pictures. So this is the thing, like, I've seen people like having pictures from like when they was younger and this, like flexing that. I never done any,
Never.
you know, just being there, doing stuff, and that was it. So it wasn't until I got into bodybuilding where I started taking pictures like, oh, is that how I look? You know?
And then you're suddenly shocked and you're like, oh, I actually look alright.
Yeah, this is it.
I can actually do a bit.
And that's it. And yeah, so I'd say that type of training definitely helps because I'm a firm believer in lifting heavy weights.
Yeah. I agree with you. I also agree with the mentality you used to have of this ego you referenced. Because I have that now.
Yeah.
I came to train with you today. You're twice my height and twice my size. Yeah? You're twice my strength. That being said, throughout the entire session, I'm like, I can't lag too far behind.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to outlift you because I'm not an ego lifter.
Yeah.
So I know what my body can do.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna push that bit more just to say, right, I'm hanging with you.
Yeah. Without
getting injured. I feel like that's the sort of thing you need to do to get better.
Yeah, definitely. That's something which I do myself. It's like, I really rate everyone who's lifting everything and performing well. But I see that and think, all right, that's the standard which I need to get to and I need to surpass. So it's like, all right, if you can do that, I'm gonna get up to that and beyond, you know. And that's what just kept me going. That's why my strength's always progressing because I'm very happy with what I can do and how I look, but I'm always looking to progress. Always, you know, I'm in there to do a job, and you know, it's always about getting better and improving. And there's never a session where I can't come in here and think, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit and go home. You know, if I don't perform well, or if I come in and something don't feel right, I just go home. If I can't put in my max
100%.
then
you can always come back another day and kill it. You know what I mean? You'd rather do that than now you can't train that again that week because you've come in and done 70% of the session.
Exactly.
It's not great.
So everyone who's putting out Instagram videos and what's not of big lifts on YouTube, and you know, I love it. It actually motivates me, and you know, it gives me that fire that, you know, keeps me striving for more.
Yeah, and I think that's incredibly important when you're talking about constantly pushing to get better and longevity in the sport.
Yeah.
You may win a show, you won shows, I won shows. If you ever sat back on your laurels and went, alright, well, I'm now the best. Like, I'm not going to gym with the same intensity that I go there now with, because you're like, well, I don't need to. I just need to be exactly as I am now and I'll keep winning. And unfortunately, in bodybuilding, no one stands still. Nobody stands still. So the guy you beat last year, he could be twice as good next year. So you need to make sure that that's something you're constantly doing. You're pushing yourself every session, every single session.
Definitely.
Speaking about guys being better, so on and so forth. Let's talk about your year last year. Let's talk about 2019.
Pathetic.
Pathetic. Right. I disagree.
Go on.
I feel like, not just in natural bodybuilding as a whole, we've seen Phil Heath dethroned as Olympia champion because he was off. He was off in a different way. It wasn't so much conditioning, it was his gut control, blah, 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 blah. But he was off. And you've seen somebody take something that he is worthy of having. No one would say that Phil Heath wasn't good enough to wasn't good enough to win the Olympia again. you are clearly, and this is not just my opinion, this is the opinion of everyone I've spoken to so far in the bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding community, you are clearly pro-calorie. You should be a pro. You came off last year. You came off conditioning-wise last year. You weren't as sharp as, unfortunately for you, some of the other guys that you had to go against were. It happens. It's not the end of the world, it happens. You're young enough, you're big enough, you're ugly enough to go back in and go, all right, next year. This is what I'm doing. Like next year, this is my time.
Yeah.
Your mentality from having that year and feeling like that I didn't do what I know I could have done.
Yeah.
How is your training, your diet, your mentality around being better for next year? How has that been? Sorry, again, dragging on a bit, but you also mentioned to me that you have competed 6 years consecutively up until this year you've taken off. How have you felt this year? You're like, cool, I've just had that 2019 that I wasn't happy with. This is the first year I've got off to just focus on being better. What's your mentality?
I tell you, from stepping off that stage,
yeah,
you know, I've been hungry all this year, well, from the back end of last year, all this year. There's not a day where I don't really think about, every time I'm in the gym, I'm thinking about, right, you know, I can't give up reps and not try my hardest because I know other people are. So, and that's, I'm constantly thinking about it. Like for me, I don't get too down about, you know, not achieving what I want to achieve. You know, as much as it hurts at the time, it just drives me.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you know, back to the drawing board. What do I need to do? How can I improve? And just go from there. So yeah, it's really weird, you know, because it's quite cliche with the whole, yeah, you know, you learn more from your losses than your wins and what's not, but it is actually true. And I was way off last year, way off. As I mentioned, like during training, with my conditioning, I've never had a time where I've never been able to hold conditioning, even though I'm doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, so like even like with my training partners and that, like one guy in particular, a guy called Sean, training with him, and like one day I'm looking good, or for this moment looking good, and then I'm not, and then you know, what's going on? Just I knew something went right, and done what we could last year. Poor showings on stage, it really was, for my standards.
I was just about to say for your standards.
It's a little bit frustrating at the time because, you know, like you can give so much more, but at the time that's literally all I could give. I tried what I tried, and you know, I have no regrets. Regardless, I have no regrets, and that's one thing. It's like, you know, you live and you learn, and next year we're much better. I'm hoping that the rest has done me well, and my body should respond to.
I'm sure it will.
I'm sure
it will. You mentioned to me already you're getting stronger, you're growing in this year. And again, you're not old, but at your age, where the average person who isn't within the bodybuilding scene feels like at your age you should either stagnate or decline, you're getting better. And that's testament to your genetics, it's testament to your work rate. And one other thing which you're a winner, it's not much of a consolation, but you still placed third in the British finals.
Yeah.
So you being off is still the third best heavyweight in the UK. Like that needs to be mentioned. So when I say that everyone I've spoken to in the bodybuilding scene has said that you are on the cusp of becoming a pro, it's genuine, because to be off and to be so off for your standards and still place third shows, like, let's be honest, like if you came on, it's open and shut. It's open and shut. So I think you just need to, I guess, just focus on getting that conditioning nailed down, because you're clearly big enough. You have great structure, great balance. You know what it is to pose. You've been on the stage. You have great stage presence. You know all of that. Just come in condition. What's your? I don't know if you can keep this to yourself if you like. I don't know what you want to, if you want to discuss it or not. What is your plan in terms of prepping yourself for coaching next year? What's your plan?
Got a coach. Not gonna say who it is just yet, because like until I actually start.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, who knows what's going to happen.
Things change, exactly. Yeah.
Who knows what's going to
100%.
happen. But yeah, that's the plan for back end of this year, and then when I start prep, I'll just give them a bit of time to get to know me, get to know my body, and just see how we go, how we gel. You know, it might work, it might not. Like, generally I'm a nice guy, but when I'm prepping, I'm a bit of a diva. I'll be honest, I am. I'm hard work, I really am. Like, I listen to everything that you say, but I'm very touchy, because I want a result so bad that if it doesn't happen, oh my God, I'm beating up myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, and that's how it is. So, you know, good luck to the next coach, really.
You touched on something that's a great segue, and I forgot what it was. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. I'll ask you a question. It's fine. What would be your end goal? What's your dream within bodybuilding? When you look back after everything's said and done, where do you want to be?
Good question. A couple of the goals are to be not even just British world champion as a pro, but like British world champion.
I know what you mean.
Not just be British champion, but world champion as a pro. I'd say nowadays I'd want to win both the FAC and the WNBF. That, you know, and that would be me like happy with natural bodybuilding. Sorry.
I already swore a few times, so yeah, just crack on.
Yeah, IFBB for me, you know, I'd have to juice. I would. Because it's, for me, it's all about open bodybuilding. That's what I love. But you know, a lot of my friends juice. I love them. And they're always like, you're limiting your potential. You need to get like that. Nah, it's not for me. Because I just go through this quickly.
Cool.
Like, to step, if I juice, I don't want to just be the guy in the gym, you know, got a good physique, just big and strong. I would want to be Mr. Olympia standard. And that's the way that I think in my head. So if I'm competing in natural bodybuilding, I want to be the top guy. So if I get into the IFBB, I want to be the top guy. And then guys are on just one little shot a week or what's, like, you know, from what I'm hearing and seeing, and I'm not saying everyone's doing the same thing.
No.
There's a lot that goes into it, and for me that is just too much. You know, when I look in the mirror, I'm very content with how I look. You know, very happy. I don't think I need to be taking anything else to feel any better about myself. I know that I can just do more work in the gym and develop that way, and you know, I'm quite content with that. So yeah, that is my overall goal. Just win the WNBF and the EFAC, but first I need to get the pro cards. For me, it's just about being the best. That is the goal. I know it might sound a bit like, following yourself type of thing, but that's my goal. You know, I think if you're going into competition and not really got that competitive mentality, you know, you kind of limit yourself. I think the competitiveness that actually drives you more. You know, some people do this for fun, but you know, I don't like losing.
No, 100%. I'm the same.
Like, too much effort goes into it. You know, a lot of sacrifice gets made.
If you prepped, I don't know how people can prep and come to a show. Right. There's condition and then there's conditioning. When you are conditioned British standard first place conditioning, you can't do it for fun. You can't. The stuff you have to do on prep, the way you have to feel on prep, it's not fun. So when you stand on that stage, for you to just go, I don't really mind, I'm sure there are people like that, but that's unreal to me.
It don't make sense in my head. No way. If I can't stand on the stage and believe I have a chance of winning, I wouldn't have prepped that year. Simple as that. Top spot, man. That's what we go for every year. Literally every year that we compete, I just want to get that top spot. Whether falling short or not, it's the same goals.
Same goal next year. Same standard. You hold yourself to the same standard regardless.
One reason why I did go with a coach, or will be going with a coach again, is because I've used my head during prep. Honest to God, like, I'm great all throughout the off season and early season prep, great, and then I convinced myself to do so much crazy stuff. I think, this is gonna work because, I just rationalise everything, and it just ends up being a downfall.
One thing I want to say, ask. You've said you're a diva.
Yeah.
What's your missus like with you? Sorry, do you have kids?
No
kids. What's your missus like with you on prep?
She's getting used to it. She's getting used to it.
6 consecutive years.
It's like generally in life, in the household, like, I'm pretty passive. But if there's something that I really want to do or really want, then there's no compromise. It's like, right, this house, I'm doing that, and you can argue, you can do whatever, but
this is what's happening.
Yeah, it's what's happening. And so with competing, she just knows, right, it's going to compete, and now she kind of understands what I need, and so if I'm a bit quiet or just whatever, she just leave me to it, type of thing, and that's the best thing, I don't need, is everything okay, how you feel? I'm like, just stay away, leave me alone.
100%.
Yeah, so she's been great, to be honest. Always comes to shows and what's not, and usually it's her friend that actually does the driving for whenever we travel to Midlands or Scotland, or so we've got a nice little team behind me.
Good, good. It helps a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So question number 1 is, if you could have any 3-course cheat meal, mix and match, pick from anywhere, supermarket, homemade, or from a restaurant, wherever, what would that be? Starter, main, and dessert?
Well, it definitely will be homemade. Put it that way. From the cheat meal, no way to be homemade. I was thinking about this type of thing this morning. I'm very indecisive, so every day it changes, or within 30 minutes it might change. So ordering a takeaway with the missus is hard work. Like, I'm hard work, I never know what to get. But today I decided, like, a big burger. It's got to be big, like triple, something like that. Some cheese, some bacon, barbecue on it. Some fries. That'd be like my main. I've got to start. I like garlic bread. Garlic bread. Just keep it simple.
Cheesy or just?
It depends because I'm not a huge fan of cheese.
Okay.
But I do like on certain things. So if it's from a place where I like cheese on it, I love it.
You like pizza?
I love pizza.
Yeah?
So it's weird,
Do you know
what the funny thing is? My missus, she made a lasagna the other night. And she's got loads of cheese in it. And they're eating it, and then they're thinking about the cheese, and then I had to leave a bit. So I thought, that's cheese, and I'm not really into cheese. That's how that. Yeah, it's weird. But I have to have cheese on my burgers and obviously on my pizzas. But
Okay, fine.
Cheese guy. So started, just garlic bread. Main would be the burger, and for dessert I'll have a cheesecake. I had a dime bar cheesecake not too long ago, and it was really nice.
Where from?
Some takeaway place, some delivery place. Mrs. got me. It was only small.
You went a big. I'm bad for that, and I often don't order desserts at places that I haven't seen them before, because if they come and they're tiny, part of me's like, take that back. I don't even want it, or I order another one. It's mad.
I've got a big appetite.
You're a big guy. Who is your favourite natural competitor on the circuit? Male, female? They don't have to be active at the moment.
Nate Williams. Hands down.
Why?
It's put together so well. Back's crazy. Got a lot of muscle. Got a really nice physique, and I'd say he's one of the top guys for sure.
Yeah, he's one of the few guys. Obviously, we hear his name a lot. We hear his name a lot. He's one of the showstoppers. Him, Dave K. You obviously have a few other guys that get mentioned, but you're talking recent memory. Dave and Nate are like the two They're the big
Yeah,
two
yeah.
where you're like,
Yeah.
if I can be on their level, I'm probably going to win a lot of shows. That's kind of the mentality.
Yeah.
So not a bad shout at all. Do you have any honourable mentions? I like to be fair to people so you don't hurt anyone's feelings. So.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of the guys in the pro ranks, just in general, you know, to be a pro, you know, you've got to be nasty.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's like, you know, obviously, for me, I'm a bit biased because I've done a lot of shows for the BMBF, and that's where all my, like, when I've watched the pro bodybuilding, or mainly been the FAC pros.
Yes.
So, you know, no disrespect to the WMBF guys. I know you've got guys like Rich Gonzeki and all that, who...
He's quality, we've had him mentioned.
Yeah, he's a big guy, but like when I've done their shows, I've just been disappointed with myself or whatever, and I've just gone, you know what I mean? So I've not even watched the shows to see them in person, but I've seen pictures then. I just know that he's big, strong.
Yeah.
So there's guys like him, and there's many others from the WMBF, but people who have seen in person and thought, what the hell? Nick Williams for sure, Dave K, crazy. He was like one of the first guys that I've seen, and it's like, what even is like, you know what I mean? Conditioning was crazy. Who else is there? Oh, there's loads, and I can't even think. It's got like Matt Claxton, people like that who's, you know, he's got crazy glutes. Got a big ass.
Yeah, do you know what? I've heard about Mark, and I haven't had the pleasure of seeing him live on stage. I think he was judging. I think he was judging the year last year when he competed. He wasn't competing in the Grand Prix. But I've heard very good things about Mark, and I'd love to see him live because his conditioning that I'm told, his density, the maturity in his muscle, apparently it's different level.
Yeah, it's he's got a lot of muscle. Obviously, Rob Waterhouse, he's got, like, when he looks full and that really bubbly physique, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
He's an action figure.
If
you drew a cartoon, that's him. He's what I can see why he turns IFBB pro.
Really good physique, really good. There's a few. Sorry if I forgot you.
No. I'll put you on the spot. These questions, guys, they're not rehearsed. So so I don't expect these guys to. You've actually done well. Most guys like blank out after about 2 guys.
There's loads.
So if you could have known anything early in or at the beginning of your career, just before you started or early into your competitive career, what would it have been?
Good question. There's loads of stuff. Nutrition. Nutrition and training, like how to train properly and just how to eat good. Because it was all just self-learning. Just getting bits and bobs from other people. It was literally my first prep must have been pretty much chicken and rice all the way. Oh, and some tuna, cans of tuna. I was living off so much tuna. What's the stuff? That's all it was. That's all I knew. I didn't think he was allowed anything else. It was oats, rice, and chicken and tuna. Pretty much off the top of my head.
I'd like to touch on this because I like to highlight it. What were your macros like? Were you carb heavy? Were you protein heavy? Why I ask that is because when a lot of people are new to the sport, they believe protein is king and everything should be basically 80% protein. So what was your knowledge back then?
Same. It was lots of protein.
That's what I'm gonna.
And it was pretty much high protein, low carbs. And that's all you have to do. High protein, low carbs. That's what all the top IFBB pros do, apparently. And so that's all I knew. And then it went until in recent years, you need to get some carbs in you know, and that's gonna be a game changer. It has been, you know. So carbs are king, for sure.
The best athletes in the natural circuit have high, heavy carb diets, off season and on season, and in prep. And Yeah, the reason I drug that out of you was because I want to make sure that these guys know.
Yeah.
Out of all the different shapes and sizes of people I have on here, big, small, short, no one's small, big, short, you know, like you say with Bob, round the muscle bellies, this, that. At the end of the day, there's something that's consistent within that, which is the nutrition. Carbs are high with everyone.
Yeah.
None of them are going to honestly tell you they don't have high carbs in their diet. It's the only way a natural athlete's going to maximize.
Yeah, unless you've got some illness or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
You've got some insulin issues or
Yeah.
something like that. But apart from that, I can't see why it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But, you know, what I would say is that it's never like one size fits all.
No.
But if you haven't tried high carbs, then I'd say give it a go, and you'll be probably surprised at what you can do. Whether you're trying to build muscle or you're prepping for a show, you know, it's a game changer. Or it was a game changer for myself, and I know a lot of other people as well.
Do you have anything else you want to touch on for the guys at home?
Yeah. One thing which gets brought up a lot is genetics, you know, people's genetic potential. People talk about maxing out their physiques when I look at them and I think, you know, you've got a long way to go. A lot of times it's just mentality over everything. Just gotta keep pushing, keep thinking about progress, and keep finding ways to progress. You know, anytime you hit some type of plateau, you know, you should just think of it as a challenge, right? This is a problem. I need to find a solution, and that's just kind of my approach to everything. And you know, I've always been able to get the numbers increased. I've always been able to put on more muscle, even without having a break from competing. So I think the first show was 183 pounds, and then now I should have been like 208 or whatever. Like 200 pounds or something like that. So you know, you can always keep improving. Just, you know, be positive. You know, things do get hard, but you've got to keep going, man. Keep going. You never know what your actual potential is. So when people say, you know, you've maxed out, say,
I
should have maxed out at 12 stone apparently, so yeah.
Well, there you go. I'm not going to ask how much you weigh now, but you're clearly, you're clearly massive, in a good way, in the best way possible. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the chat. Like I already said, we did train chest, so go back and have a look at that if you haven't already. Even if you have, go back and look again, because why not? There's loads of stuff you can take from it, and it was a great session. Where can these guys find you on socials?
Social media, Instagram, at Theo Golaub, that's my main platform, and then YouTube, same again, Theo Golaub. There'll be more content coming out, hopefully as good as yours, just instead of myself training and doing my own thing. So yeah, YouTube will be very, it's in development at the moment.
Yeah. That's cool, mate. Listen, you've got pre-existing content on there.
Yeah.
Go over there now. Get to know Theo more in depth. Go have a look at the stuff he's already put on there. I've had a look through it all, and it's very interesting stuff. It's really, really good stuff. So make sure you go over there and support. If you're looking for a PT in the Manchester area, you are based out of
the gym group Deansgate.
Yeah. So if you are looking for a PT, like I said, in the Manchester area, and you're not, you know, or you're trying to travel in and find somebody who's worth traveling for, definitely Theo is your guy. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any additional questions, let Theo know directly on this platform, or let me know in the comments, and we'll be sure to answer them. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time.